Hello everyone. Bet you wondered what's happened to me. If I look a bit bedraggled, it's because I finally come to the end of a very, very busy few weeks. First of all, we took my parents up to the Lake District and dropped them there for a week's holiday. Then we had to return the following week and collect them. We've had all sorts of things going on at the allotment. Some friends of ours went away for 3 weeks, having entered the Half Plot of the Year competition. It was being judged before they got back. So we'd actually volunteered to look after the plot before we realised what we were taking on. But lo and behold, that was judged last weekend, and they actually won. So relief all round. We've also had another coffee morning at the allotment, at the Gardening Association hut. I was asked to make the courgette cake again, but as they actually sent the recipe out to everybody in the newsletter, I thought, well, people can make that for themselves now. So I made a clementine, almond, and well, it had a dark chocolate ganache with a little bit of triple sec in it. So that went down very well indeed. This last week, I've actually had my grandchildren to stay for 3 days. Their trip to school was an hour-long round trip, dropping my grandson at high school and then my granddaughter at her primary school. My daughter had gone to London on a school trip, and so obviously I was asked to fill in there. So yes, it's been exceedingly busy. We've been trying to do our best to keep everything ticking over here. This is the 4th attempt I've made at a plot update, but I sort of get halfway through it and it starts to rain, or I'm not happy with something. So all being well, if this goes according to plan, if you're seeing this, then it has. So here we go. What I'm going to do is literally walk around and just point out things that I think may be of interest to you, and then you won't hear me droning on again. I'll start with the sunflowers, which in one of my previous vlogs I said they weren't coming up to much, but all of a sudden they've burst into life and I'm really quite pleased. And my favourite one is Claret, so come and take a look at that. This is a beautiful Claret sunflower. I'll just try and hold it still, just blowing gently in the breeze. There you are. So have a look at that, Nick. There are, I think it's a multi-headed one, so there are other flowers to come. I have taken some stills where it was a little bit more upright earlier in the day, so you can have a look at those. Just show you the display of sweet peas. They've been absolutely gorgeous. I'm so happy that I decided to put them along the perimeter of the plot. They look amazing. This is the Magic Roundabout. There again, a multi-headed one. Didn't expect that of them really. But how's that for a beauty? And then we have a slightly larger one here. I'm just going to have to check with the seed packets and make sure that this isn't Miss Mars and I've mixed up the labels. So I'll let you know. I love the little spots that seem to be little spots of colour on the leaves. Anybody vote for that one? We had to take up our early potatoes as they had a touch of blight, but we did have a really splendid crop. We've re-sown. Don't look at the labels because they're now the wrong way around, but on the left we have Pink Fair Apple and on the right we have Desiree. And then over here we had to take up, I think it was the Vivaldi and the King Edwards on another occasion. So we've got some, I think the Pentland Crown that we're going to put in there. So I'm just going to take a step back and let you have a little look at the vista. Got plenty of apples on the apple tree, but this year the plum tree has proved really disappointing. I think that we must have lost a lot of the flowers before they were pollinated, because I'm told that in previous years this has been the best plum tree on the allotment, and we're actually suffering from a sad lack of plums. So that's the only thing I can think of that's caused that to happen. Today I put some Oriental cabbage seedlings in. In here we've got kale and we've got multicoloured beets. Courgettes are only now just beginning to come into their own. They've been very, very slow, and I was wondering if it was because they were under the dappled shade of the trees. You can see these little cabbages. They're really gorgeous, and the Cavallonera has been majestic, nothing more than majestic. Beyond that you can see two globe artichokes and now a cardoon, I think. This is a stickerly. It's a cross between broccoli and kale, and you can eat all of the plant, the stems, leaves, and obviously the florets. And these are the kalettes. Not sure how these will grow or how they'll look. Maybe I need to take off this covering and have a close look to see if anything's happening. Beetroot has been really wonderful, and the pumpkin patch is going insane. Got some progression beetroot here. Now this is for Richard and Paul. Here are my Crown Prince and Cheeky Prince. Starting with Cheeky Prince, the first plant on the right, followed by a much smaller Crown Prince, and then so it goes, Crown Prince, Cheeky Prince, alternating down. Got some butter beans here. Once again, these were given to me by one of our kind friends on the allotment who sent to Cyprus for them. So we've each got flowers, but so far no signs of any beans themselves. In front of our Cheeky Prince and Crown Prince, I've maximised the space and put another row of dwarf green beans. And once again, another row of dwarf green beans. On the right, I've got 2 gherkin plants amongst all the edamame beans. And this is my favourite bed. I'll walk down the other side and you can have a little look. Alan, the dawn chorus plot. What do you think of these? So I've taken the peas up today, which looks a bit of an empty space now. So I'll have to think about what I can pop in there. It does look like you're walking through a food forest. And the runners have gone around to the other side of the arch now. So the ones on this side doing far better than this side, which is a bit odd, but right into the sun, so I'll try and turn around. There we go. So at this point in our first year of growing, I would say that I'm very happy with how things are looking here and what we've achieved. We've obviously had our ups and downs with the allium leaf miner, so we've no onions in. I'm holding out on some leeks over there on the left hand side. Kelly, my UK homestead. There's our Jerusalem artichokes. And we're finally beginning to get some fruit on our tomatoes. Not nearly as good as all the experts out there. I've just learnt so much this year about what I can and what I can't achieve. I love this little area here. So here are the calendula that I received from Mags of My Garden and the Dinosaur who lived there, and also from Kelly of Kelly's Kitchen Garden. So you may recognise yourselves which seeds or which flowers have actually come from which person. But they're all magnificent, I absolutely love them. It's all going great guns in here. Got some cheeky little peppers. I think the success story is definitely the Hungarian black. Right, this is progression lettuce and some more brassicas, some emerald ice kale, and also some Romanesque cauliflower. Magnificent chilies. Cucumbers have been very slow. Just don't think we've had enough heat up here in the northwest. That's the only thing I can think of. Some more tomatoes out there, so we can see. Just make out a little sun gold. I think I've had a little caterpillar in here somewhere. I've yet to find it, but it's something that's steadily eating its way through the leaves on some of these lower plants. And here's our Queen of Spain, watermelon. Thank you for watching. I'm hoping to be able to catch up with everybody's channel in the coming weeks as things settle down a little bit at home. School finishes on Friday, so the responsibility of my grandchildren is handed back to their parents. I think what I've learned most of all this year is that you don't need to grow 60 tomato plants, 9 different varieties. I think really I should have lowered my sights and used this year just to experiment and get things right, rather than going for gold. So, hope you're all well, and I hope you've enjoyed this little tour, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Thanks once again for watching.